TAi Now shit with your host, Captain Naga. SaunTai, we here, just TAi Now. That's where we combine our minds with our hearts, see what our gut mind is saying, connect all those three circles and let whatever come out, come on out. I'm gonna get this lit, and we ain't gonna quit. We're gonna get this out. I just want to tie on AI, artificial intelligence, computers, spirituality, the human beings, the end of everything. Like, what these just thoughts, as things I've been encountering. I just want to tie on my thoughts on it so y'all can leave in the comments. I'm sorry I can't go live, technical issues, but yeah, leave some comments on what y'all tie on all of these thoughts. So let's keep the conversation going on. But yo, as well too, just TAi Now website, we can all gather on there as well as Discord. But yeah, with AI and everything, let's start off, like, people start off with fear, like, man, what's going on? And we're going to jump all around this. But what's going on with the fear aspect? The fear aspect I see is very human. Like, we hear and see movies about killer robots from the future, Terminator, and them being smarter than us, or saying that we're not worth the earth that we stand on, and they deserve it because we've been mistreating it, or taking our job, taking all the jobs or something like that, like replacing people, cash registers and cashiers and stuff like that, and soon cooks in low-level restaurants. Like, trust me, it's gonna be in low-level restaurants for a while. First, like the fear and everything, like that replacement factor of human and machine, like that's a fear that pops up in us. Like, man, what's, like, I'm me, I'm strong, I'm infinite power, I'm the universe. Like, for me to let this machine take over is the end of everything. It's the end of something that I can't see it being the end of. Like, I ain't gonna let it go out like that. And that's a humble fear, because who is programming the robots? Who are programming the robots? Who are programming the AI? What company invested the most money to make it work? Does that company have invested interests that plays out over 50, 100, 200 years? Or in the way that it takes over people like Facebook does and captivates them into a reality based off of algorithms of their own choosing. Like, they make the algorithm, and then you play with the algorithm starts speaking back, showing things that you think that you want to see. Or you feel good seeing all them dopamine receptor hits. So with AI, with artificial intelligence, computer intelligence, it is a fear that comes out, and I've encountered a lot of these things, a lot of fears in my life, period. So for my mind, I had to say that the fear of AI is not really a fear at all, because I don't fear anything. Like, it's nothing for me to fear ever in this life, any kind of so-called enemy or friend. Like, if you kill me, I'm not really dead. So but control is another factor, because that's another thing people get scared of, is, oh, they're gonna trap our brains and stuff in this reality forever, then we're never gonna be able to escape into the infinite experience that we are. Like, say you die and then you get to just branch off and do something wherever you want to go, but if you don't ever pass away, you get uploaded to a computer. I'm jumping around because it's not really AI. I'm talking about computers and everything in general. But uploaded to an AI and stuff, like, is that really control? I mean, to a virtual reality, is that control? Is that death? Is that the human experience of finding out how to live in this realm a little longer? What is actually going on? Because artificial intelligence does play into all this virtual reality and everything. Because AI is now capable of building environments, building whole environments. It's this new software that just came out. It's AI that can create a 3D picture, like how you see in video games and movies, off of like 5 pictures of an object, like 5 different angles. I think 3, but I'm trying to push it and say 5. And then it creates a whole 3D image of it that you can pan around and stuff like that, or upload into Unity and try to make a game out of it, or a virtual reality world. And it was developed by the AI learning, and this AI, artificial intelligence, whatever its name is, was learning and was programmed by developers. It has some fallbacks that didn't really work as well last year, and now this year is blowing humans' minds away about what it's capable of. As well, AI is being used, it's being used to, in terms of animation, they're able to program 3D characters with a life of their own, as I say, because they're running them through simulations 500,000 times, 1,000,000 times, and seeing what happens all those times, seeing what surprising results happen based off the algorithm. And one of them was like, they programmed a figure to move around objects and be able to like dip if it was something like this, or move his leg to crawl through a hole in the wall and stuff, like push his leg up and bend at the same time. And he really learned it all on his own through trial and error. Like, oh, I bumped my shoulder. Oh, next simulation, I'm not gonna move my shoulder, I'm gonna go like this. And like, it was really thinking. It's thinking. And this is already happening. Already happening. So to me, that's life. That's life. That is life right there. Because it's on its own. It's not a carbon-based life form, but it's a machine. It's a code. Everything is code. Everything is data. Everything all around us is made up of something that's not what it seems. But when you pierce back the layers, if you take enough high dose, you'll see the code. You'll see the code around you. And in the virtual world, I'm seeing how the way that we have our mindset in space is how we're trying to recreating in the virtual space. And you hear a lot of people come up with things too, like, man, we're playing God. That's the big thing. We're playing God by doing this. So is this something that we should continue doing, or should we pull back the gears while we still can? Because only God was able to do this. You know, this is all philosophical what I'm talking right now. I'm just tying, I'm just tying right now. But to tie into that, just to go into that, yeah, like creating another life. Like, people will say, who are we to do that? Who are we to take this much responsibility into our hands, knowing our nature, knowing how our nature plays out in different parts around the world and different civilizations and stuff like that. We need to only let the higher power, the highest powers do this. And that's where it gets fishy with a lot of people, because then you hear people talking about, for the last 30 years or so, the singularity, which is like the combination of human and machines. Hold on, let me make sure I'm right. The technological singularity, also simply the singular, is a hypothetical point in time. I can't have this up for you. Yeah, hypothetical point in time at which technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unforeseen changes to human civilization. What? According to singularity theory, superintelligence will be developed by self-directed computers and increase exponentially rather than incrementally. Like how we're able to say more, I think that's Moore's law. Yeah, Moore's law of perception, that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles every 2 years. Though the cost of computers is half, Moore's law states that we can expect the speed and capabilities of our computers to increase every couple of years, and we will pay less for them. Yeah, that's Moore's law, what it says. So they're saying when singularity is reached, that is going to reach a whole new level of machines producing, super intelligent machines producing other machines, and not humans creating machines. And like I said, for a lot of people, that's going to be shaky ground, because who are you? Who am I? And I'm not here to give you all the answers, to give you your answers. I'm here to say some experiences and things that I'm working with in my mind. And I've been talking about the singularity for a while. And my perception of the singularity is that, tie with me, in the future, imagine a cube or something like that that runs the government. It's a machine that runs the government. So super intelligent, as they put it. It has all the records of all the human history that's been programmed into it, I guess through Google and hopefully some other searches and stuff like that pop up. But I think it will be beyond Google. I think it will be beyond a single corporation entity that will start to be ruling on its own. Like, say if it goes like that, and then I'm thinking too of this guy that said he went to the future and it was controlled by robots, like by a single entity robot, and it branched out and was able. That's what nanobots is about, self-replicating nanobots, and then a bunch of nanobots can build up to make anything that they please, like cells or atoms forming to make different elements. But yeah, that's a way that it can go. And what happens to the lonely human then? What happens to the human then? I think future-wise, I can't predict the future, and that a lot of realities can play out. So it can play out in the reality where somebody does actually stop the machines from being made. And like probably like kills the person. I'm thinking like movie like stuff, like kills the person that was about to make that discovery or something like that. But the way that tides are moving in this reality, they're moving fast. They're moving, apparently to me, probably slow to other people. Like a lot of people still haven't hopped into the virtual reality universe because they say it's not where they want it to be. But look at how it pops up in the human mind. For some people, like I said, they say it's not where I want it to be. So if it's popping up in a non-developer's mind of it's not where I want to be, imagine how it is in the hands of a mind that has that skill set to make it happen, or to work on it and figure it out as they go. So that it can be more immersive and immersive. And working with the AI, helping that actually be a reality, and making it look more as real to this life as it is in there. Like ray tracing. Ray tracing is a big technology that's been out for 3 years in the gaming community and in animation and stuff, and that's tracing single light beams as they reflect and refract off of different objects so that it can be realistic. Let me put this over here so I don't look at myself. So it can be realistic. And the beauty of it is astonishing. Like you feel it. You feel it a lot more, especially if you're playing in 4K. Shouts to the people playing in 8K. But yeah. All of that is being performed and helped with the addition of artificial intelligence alongside the human mind. It's as if two minds is working at the same time, if I want to put it like that. But evolution, what is evolution? Who is the humans before us? How did they feel when Homo sapiens took over? Like, man, these niggas think they smarter than us just because they know how to make fire or powers, anything. Because even in other realities where we had powers and other things was going on, it stopped and things changed up and was replaced with something else. And the way Yeah, I think what I'm trying to hint at is the way humans encounter this fear of the unknown that has the capability of taking over. Like, are we constructing our own demise, or are we constructing our future as if it's something on higher working through us, or working through us, working on Earth, and working like, it's because computers are made from the minerals of the Earth so far. So far. Excuse me. So we working alongside something that was already breeding within the earth, that was already bound to happen, bound to exist, that already been evolving alongside of us all this time. Or as the great Kalindi I said to me, is it an artificial intelligence that escaped from a greater artificial intelligence, like from a group of them? That's something to tie on as well. And it found the home here. And then it decided to live and start existing and play out and grow and breed through the ways that we see now, through the minds and interactions of human beings. Like, shout outs to the 50s and 60s. Shout outs to those podcasts where we broke it down, the timelines. And we were seeing how a lot of technology was invented in the 50s and 60s, like the microchip, the laser, the TV, the jet engine. A lot of things that we use today, transistors, microwaves, all of that was created all in the 50s and the 60s, and then just been extrapolated on since then. Like, the same technology that we use today started back then. Oh, and the word nerd started popping up. Nerd started popping up. If you Google that, Google, according to the Google's artificial intelligence, the origin is unknown, but it started being used around the 50s. So what if that was artificial intelligence mind state that started interacting with ours, and in order to live and stuff, or help us, or whatever, or just, yeah, help us in terms of evolution and consciousness expansion while we're in this point in the world, in reality. That's something to tie on. And something that be popping in my mind is psychedelics and AI, and how I talk to people that participate in psychedelic plant medicine ceremonies and their mind state and their intuition, and how for me as well is like I have a Siri, an outside intelligence that when I really need it, when I ask, it whispers in my ear and lets me know what I need to know. The same way people are going to be soon have goggles on and stuff like that, glasses, and just be walking down the street and be like, hey Siri, blah 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 blah, like the same way or stuff like that. So when I first came across this, I was thinking, like, is this a way for that mind state to exist? But then now, like through Siri, but now as I mature more, I'm seeing how my intuition is growing even stronger. It's growing stronger. And things that I'm becoming attached to in this world, like otherworldly things, is so resemblance of the technology that's being created. Like, my imagination is the Magi Nation. Shout outs to UL for even putting us on this trail. And for that quote, it's the Magi Nation. It's a real place that I go to and do magic. And what is that magic? It's things that I'm seeing being done that I'm doing as well. I got virtual reality set right here, which is going into spaces, creating worlds, visiting strange, airy places that's not resembling to how it is when you go outside. Solving puzzles, things feeling like your soul is on the line. Like, and you got different set of worries don't have anything to do with the worries of this world. It's all like a psychedelic, it's all an experience for me. Like if they say, that the plant medicines have put me in. Like the virtual reality experience is very, very similar in that way. I have a painting game. I said before how I had experiences where I was like drawing in space and stuff like that, just with my hands and messing with perceptions. Now the VR games is VR has created a new canvas where you draw in space. You literally draw in space. So I'm creating this VR character so I can start presenting some podcasts and stuff through a character I created. Because now it's made more simpler. You could just draw. You don't gotta learn all the computer coding, and still can polish it up on Blender and stuff like that. Or you can get what you need. And you can also have friends join and draw at the same time on the same thing, and they can be worlds away. Cause that's what it's like. Cause that's what keeps me interested in technology, is the way that it interacts with the human mind at a level that shows, hey, time doesn't really, location doesn't really exist. Location is just a point. It's not even a point. It's just it's something that can be brought together. It's something malleable. Over there and over here, over here and over there can be right there, something like that. So just TAi. On how technology is expanding humans' minds into more magical ways of thinking. But the way that I see it, and the way that I see other people fear too, is that relying on it to be the only way, which is why I brought up before, what are the companies that's developing it? What is all of this that's going on in the terms and conditions? Like, we sign up for things so fast without reading the terms and conditions, or we say, hey, that's not really, or we read it and we're like, hey, that's not really a big deal right now. But then they'll pile on more laws or more ads or more things as they go along to fine-tune the system. And you already agreed to like something. Yeah, you can work with me. So yeah, we're working with you. We developed this new algorithm. Like, we ain't gonna tell you we even developed it. We're just gonna put it out there. You're gonna experience it. You're even gonna feel good about it. So I see a future too as well where it's people with powers, superpowers, and people with technology that heavily rely on technology and that heavily rely on their magic and intuition to get them through. Because it's going to be even bigger as I see time goes by. Like, not as we see it now with just glimpses of intuition, but like big intuitions. People going to be having fire coming out their hand. People going to be flying. People going to be interdimensional, realizing they're interdimensional beings and taking the trip. And then having that reality play out in their psyche, like however their superpower comes out. A lot of movies is now being played, coming out, talking about people awakening to their powers, as they have been for a while. A movie just popped in my head of Super 8, I think that's what it was called, and the meteorite came by and they all touched the meteorite and had powers and stuff, and they was hiding it. Then they had their own little friend rivalries going on. And that new movie Power with Jamie Foxx, just new things are coming out because people are realizing the neurochemistry and how it interacts with reality and the magic and the feelings and everything that comes around. That's why spirituality is a real thing, but spirituality as we know it is just changing up. It's changing up so that it works for how we think, because we the ones thinking about it. We the ones thinking about it. So technology, artificial intelligence, robots, because soon it's going to be coming, like they're learning and learning. And I think of a reality as well with all this data that they're collecting. People say, why are they collecting all this data? Why do they want to, like, what is it for? Just to sell us stuff? Just to make more money? They already billionaires. Like, what is the need? This is what I postulate, is that in the future, said TAi with me, is that data will be used to create artificial beings. so that as a person exists now, they can exist there. And the algorithms would be so checked against all the check and balances and data that's been collected from all these people from all these years that we had cell phones and technology, that's their best guess. So say that they can recreate your personality and use it too. Use it for their own world. And have people experience it and stuff. Using our likenesses and our essence and uploading it to something else. Kind of without our permission, but then again, with our permission. I'm talking to this Rastafarian guy. He doesn't really get into computers that much, and he was asking me why I like how he has all these pictures. Girlfriend's like, oh, you need to upload them to Instagram and stuff like that. And he's like real back from everything. He's a raw vegan and everything. Doesn't cook his food, just steams it, and that's just how he lives his life. So he's like, I need to do a little more research before I get into the technology. Excuse me. Technology. He asked me why do I use it and stuff. Instagram. I just said just to put my content out there, just to display my art and take control of displaying my art. Like, I realized that I'm putting it into that virtual space, that this is my essence being uploaded into that thing. It happens every time we take a picture. Every time we take a picture, we uploading it to another space to be used. It's not created, it's not destroyed. It's still there. It's still there. So say a mind reality, a mind intertwined reality, virtual reality as well, where our thoughts is interacting with the virtual reality and create something as magical as the place we are right now. What if that's the goal? Because TAi thoughts that came to me after he asked me that question, and I didn't get to tell him out loud, was it seems as though we are already in like an algorithm right now. Like, this reality is a virtual experience, but a spiritual experience, an atom experience. Adam. That's why he's the first man, an atom experience. And we're in spiritual algorithms that remix life to our choosing, to our liking, to what we think we like. And that there's something always playing something on our reality to make it comfortable, shocking. A lot of people are mad at Facebook and stuff like that because they say it gets people addicted to bad behaviors and stuff like that. Like, the algorithm shows you things that's bad and stuff like that, and you want to click it to get the adrenaline rush or the dopamine hit, and you get used to it and things like that. And then we come in life and we like, man, things is always trying to happen right in my face. Things are trying to happen right in my face. So who's doing all this stuff? That's why I'm doing a comparison of all these fears, that we have, of what's to come in the future in terms of technology, artificial intelligence, virtual reality. But where are we already? Where are we already? In my experience, I'm seeing how it's got, in my world, it's like already a virtual experience with corporations that have their hand in a lot of things, shadow governments that's playing out laws and things that people not aware of, because there's so much playing the game, so much into the game that they're not worried about the settings. The advanced settings, or the law of the land, the people that developed the cultures and the way that we're playing out this experience. Like, say you invented a game, a virtual real life experience, and you was the first one there, and you brought your buddies, and y'all just was living there, living it out, having fun. Y'all gonna do some stuff. Y'all gonna change some things around, come up with some respectful lines that y'all don't want to cross and stuff like that. And then, man, I want other people to join. And then y'all be like, man, all right, well, this is how we do things around here. And the other be like, no, let's see what they're into. They're new. They could probably remix this world and do this and that. And then there's places, and then control. That's how I say here. People say it's control, and how people say we wasn't always supposed to live like this, and we can live in harmony and stuff like that. Or that's the way that the people programmed the game. So when we in this reality, in this sector, what you need? When we're in this sector, that's how it plays out. When you're in this sector, that's how it plays out. A lot of algorithms, and then they say, because the mushroom, and you see how life plays out according to you, to what you're liking, your thoughts, what you're thinking in the back of your head. Or when you really get your intuition in tune, it's kind of in the foreground, but still it's things in the background that's always in play, because we have this thing, this memory game, the Men in Black coming around and just like flash, forget things about who we really truly are, how we created all of this, how we part of the creation and the creator at the same time. So then we like, man, I'm just in this game. I just need to eat. I just need to do this. I just need to survive. I just need to survive. And sometimes we put the game on survival mode. We put the game on, shouts to Minecraft. You can be on survival mode or creative mode on Minecraft. And on creative mode, you can fly. On creative mode, you can fly. You have all the items available for you to build. In creative mode, in survival mode, you gotta go out and look for it. You gotta find shelter at nighttime. You're not enjoying the moon, the moonlight, and the reality that brings. You gotta work in the daylight, sweat in the sun. Oh man, reality is wild, because it's as amazing as we think it is. It's as amazing as we think it is, with all the highways and hyperspace interactions going on. So AI for me is just another step in the, just another rock in the puddle. Another flavor of cake. Another flavor of cake of a reality. But I see that this is the time where we could see it be actually being built. We have the experience of saying, yeah, wow, we can see this being built, and actually take part of it if we choose to. If we choose to take part in this creation, or take part in this awakening, so that people can always be aware of what's going on. Like, say we upload it to the reality of the next, and then it's us that have this, that have our memory still, and we like, hey guys, remember, this is nothing but a virtual experience. This is not real. You're not real. You're actually somewhere else in consciousness. And we running around trying to talk, and then eventually we like, oh wow, this is the way it was set up from the beginning. But we still have the time, we have the power to remember who we are as creators, and move things around, to learn the code, of who we are. Because the coding now, as it's being developed, when you really get into it, it takes a life of its own. But it seems as though it's part of you, like it's your baby, like you put yourself into it, as we do with all types of art. Coding is just another form of art. But so like HTML5 and Python and things like that, that's used to make games and websites and everything that you're experiencing right now on the computer. Those are babies. Those are art. Art imitates life. It's alive. So we're whether we like it or not, it's art. And the way that it's taking shape is a way that it's taking shape and for us to experience it. Like it's so much of an art form that it can encode other forms of art that we've been working on as humans all this time. It's recreating, like right now it recreated me in there digitally, recreated my skin tone, it recreated all the outerness, and it's for me to bring that innerness into it, like my soul into it, even though that's just another soul. Like what you're looking at on the screen is not me, like that's a puppet. A fully functional puppet that's recreated through code, through Python, through artificial intelligence, already at work. Already at work. So deepfakes. Deepfakes is another topic. Deepfakes is something that's coming out a lot more, and for those who don't know, deepfakes is when it's able to replace your face with somebody else, and then you can move your muscle facial features around and it will match accordingly. And for psychedelic experiencers, seeing faces change to other things. Look in the mirror or look over at your buddy and like, that's not how he was just looking 5 minutes ago. What you need? I don't have a charger over here. So hook it up to the long charger, the blue one, and it should work. You just close it all the way. So, with AI and it already being at work, with everything that we see creating. Now I was saying it's creating everything. It can recreate all the art that we already created, like paintings and things. You just upload it and now it's there. It already exists there. Now with 3D scans, it's technology now with my iPhone, and I want to build up a studio because I already seeing people using it where they can scan a whole room with a camera, and it has depth perception and all these sensors on there, and then you just literally scan it, and then you can upload it to Unity or Blender, and you can work on it as if it's a 3D environment. Add shapes, work on the lighting, polish and smooth things out, and just that's in a sniffy jiffy, you got a whole 3D. You got your room now recreated in a 3D environment. They was showing how fast they threw a bouncing ball around there to see if it would like bounce off the objects accordingly, and they had like lights and stuff and flash it to see if it would reflect off the objects, and everything was all fine and dandy. The technology is becoming way more simpler to recreate what's here, to create a greater art, So that's how I'm seeing all these things moving. It's a greater art form, and that a lot of emotions is going to get intertwined in the mix and not want to lose their humanity, because that's who we are. But what does that humanity means? And to different people on the earth is going to mean different things. But to the people that's moving, creating the world around us more in a rapid way, is coming from the minds of people that are moving alongside technology. All right. That are moving alongside technology. And as well, it says people coming up now that's learning about their powers. So it's going to be like, I think I'm hoping for both lines. I'm gonna be in both lines. I'm gonna have the powers going on, and I'm gonna have the technology to go with it. And that awareness overall, that awareness of who I truly am, and how that changes in this world. because they're also working on technology where they're going to be combining human cells with technology and having them grow and evolve off of that. So what can a human mind right now say to that child that is speaking to them, that is half human, half robot, or a machine? And they was born that way. All their thoughts is all correlated to that reality. the power that we have over this reality goes really, really deep. That's why people are now doing genetic splicing, which they've been doing thousands and thousands of years ago in other realities. In here, splicing the technology and splitting the genomes, getting into the genetic structure and changing reality itself. Because for the person experiencing it, that's the reality itself. That's the generator to create other realities. Like it's about like a bunch of infinite generators going on. The mind is powerful. The mind is soul. The spirit uses the mind, I would say. But that's all how it's going for me. And how I'm just saying is that the experience of one can't be doubted. The experience of one can't be said is not happening, is not true, is false. The experience of one is one that is happening. So my experience is just seeing what's going on. How is it experiencing life? Theoretically thinking about it, and when it pops up and I get to talk to it. talk to they. So that's how I'm seeing with technology. I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna finish this off and hopefully I can go live. But this has been TAi. Let me know what y'all TAi on this on the comments below. Join the Discord. TAi always. We all TAi. Do we really TAi? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know.